Heidi, and thank you for joining us on our Witch Wound video series, where tonight we're going to be talking about where the witch wound came from. And tonight I have with me Ahara, who is joined me on the last one. She is the inventor of the creator types, who I've known for a couple years now. And Kristin, who I recently met in the desert, Kingman, Arizona. And she is an energy healer and works with a lot of witches. And Veronica, who I've known for a few years, I've been to several of her witch camps and have read her book about Bohemian magic. So we're going to be talking about where did the witch wound come from. But before we jump into that, let's define what it is to be a witch. And actually, let me revisit the first video first. So the first video we talked about what the witch wound is and whether or not you have to be a witch to have it. Um, so you don't need to be a witch to have it. And if you're interested in what it is or our perspective on that, you can watch the first video. But in this video, we thought we would start it out by defining like what is a witch. So I remember reading some years ago that witch stood for woman in total control of herself. And
Scary.
then, right? We are
Mhm.
a threat to the patriarchy in
Yep.
our power. And then also using our own power to manifest our desires, our wishes, our dreams. So a woman who uses her own power to create her reality, her life. Do any of you want to add to that definition?
For me, I feel to add something about and what makes a woman a witch threatening or a woman in her power threatening is that she works with invisible realms or unconventional tools that may not be mainstream and may in some cases be a bit vulgar or unacceptable. And I think that that is something that scares people as well, aside from the power aspect, is that the unknown, the mysterious part about being a witch.
Hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's hard to hear um, because I know. Like that's hard for people to accept. Like why? But I know. And you know. And you know they can know. But to get past that that judgment, that wound, and realize there's a remembrance, layers upon layers of a knowing, maybe from lifetimes.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Veronica, did you want to add anything?
I think that what was said already really covers it well. And I do think that um, part of being a witch is basically also opening up to the unseen realms, like Hara was talking about, and knowing that it's not just you working with the energy to create magic or to create the things that you desire or the life that you want to lead or healing for all. There's so many things that you can do in a positive way with your magic. So I think that sounds really good.
Okay. All right. Well, then the next bit, we could talk a little bit about where we understand that the witch wound comes from. And when I was first starting this project, actually, Ahara and I were doing some one-to-one work together, and the witch wound came up for me along with some other things. But then I had a hard time disentangling the witch wound from patriarchy. So I thought patriarchy came first, and then the witch wound like came eventually. Um, But I don't want to say patriarchy, even though that seems like a full and complete answer.
Mhm.
But what are your perspectives on where the witch wound came from or where it originated?
Uh, well, I'll open it up by saying I feel like um, you've got to go back to the beginning, you know, when man and woman were first created. That's when the witch wound essentially started, because for a start, the duality of man and woman pitched man against woman
Mm.
and vice versa. And that was used to twist or manipulate the power of humans, is to make them fight against each other. So how perfect, fight against your own biology and the opposite biology to your own. So I think it's like come from that, like you've kind of got to go back right to the start to see the fundamentals of where that uh, conflict has arisen between men and women with women and men with men. It's actually a twist, a distortion of power to think that something outside of you is against you. So I just feel to open it with that.
Yeah. I wonder, the first thing that's coming up for me around that is just even our connection with nature and how long ago we might have been more harmonious with nature, but then it became that similar thing of like, nature's out to get us, and now we have to dominate nature and control
Yeah.
nature, that kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
it's that external thing that we can't control is now the thing that we think is gonna hurt us. You know, something like that. Mm. Yeah.
I think the thing with power is uh, the perception that something else is more powerful than what you have inside of you is the
Mm.
essential flaw. And that's the wounding, is this perception of power differential. And it makes us look outside rather than in, like looking in at what we already have. We're looking at what we don't have. And then from
Mm.
there, everything goes awry, right? It's so fundamental, you know.
It's hugely fundamental. If people in their own right own their own power and just fully step into that, and that is their main focus, manifesting it, growing it, embodying it. What's there's nothing left to want to grab. There's nothing left to want. It's all there already.
Mm.
Mm. This reminds me of religion and just how long ago we had our own connection to the divine, our own connection to our energy and power. And then now with religion, some of them, we need a broker to connect to our higher self, the divine, whatever that is for us. So I was thinking of the daimon, which is can be like our guardian angel, and how that word eventually became demon because, oh my gosh, heaven forbid if we should listen to our internal compass. Like, oh, we're consorting with the devil if we tune into ourselves. And now, ooh, we have to go sit in a booth and confess our sins. Or just like our direct connection to the divine, our direct connection to ourselves, and not just from religion, but that's just what comes to mind, was reoriented for us at some point.
Hmm.
And also,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think that it has been really beautiful seeing in the last decade how much more accessible witch and the work of witches, and that it's seen as a more positive and powerful thing now. Because I know that growing up with witchcraft, with my grandmother teaching me things, like I think a major part of the witch wound for me that I experienced was very much knowing that I kind of had to keep this undercover. Like it was something that she was teaching me and she was showing me how to do because, and passing it on to me because she felt like it was powerful, but it wasn't something that I could really share or talk about. And we would do ESP together, and by playing with ET cards when I was a little girl. And she was an incredible sender. So she could send me pictures that I could receive easily because she was very powerful. And I was so excited about it because I was so good at it. Like I could receive the things from her with ease. And I remember my mom sitting me down and I was so excited about it. And she was like, you can't, just like, don't really tell the kids at school this, because she was protecting me. And that makes so much sense. And it wasn't something that I could really talk about. And for years, I was doing things where I would be like coaching or talking about having confidence, but I wouldn't bring witchcraft into it until finally my friend Joe Weldon, who owns the New York School of Burlesque, she knows me so well. And she was a part of like a secret underground coven that I was doing. And she was like, I really want you to do like a spellbinding burlesque class where you talk about how you use witchcraft with your sensuality and how you can superpower it and boost it and show it to other people. And that was the first time I put myself out there as a witch for like public consumption and talked about it to people that I had never met before who came to the class. And it was such a powerful thing to see what showing some things that I knew about, seeing other women take it and run with it and feel confident and like looking at witchcraft, looking at magic, looking at their own unique power in a new way. So when you say witch wound, for me personally, what that meant is that I kind of shut that down or hid that side of myself for so many years because I was afraid that people would think I was a bad person because I talked to the spirits or there was something weird about me. And it's so important to me and so sacred to me. And talking to the spirits has been something that I've been doing for my whole entire life. And that's something that is like non-negotiable for me in my life. And so I didn't want to have people judge me or think things about me or say things about that because that's going to happen no matter what. So I just felt like if I kept it kind of to myself more, it was more of a safer thing. But luckily, we're not doing that anymore. So, but even when I started teaching in 2007, it was kind of a radical thing. Like people were like, whoa, you're a witch, like in New York City. And this is 2007. So I'm grateful. I'm curious to see what you all think about that, like about how, if you are calling yourself witch and if you're finding that it's much more acceptable and much more heard now versus, years ago.
I think it is. Yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
Which is great work, guys. Great work. We did it, It's becoming more acceptable and more known. And I think the more healing we do around that, the more that we can, as women, as powerful witches, we can kind of slowly eradicate this idea of the witch wound and that we're going to get hurt or that we're going to have some kind of thing happen to us for standing in our power. So I do see a huge change in society because I think that people feel so powerless with everything going on in the world. So they are looking to make their own worlds. And I think that that's why witchcraft has exploded in the last decade because of all the things going on.
mhm.
Truly.
It's
I think
almost like
there's also like more desire to belong now to something or to kindred spirits. And so if you're a little bit left of center, a fringe person, unconventional, walking your own path, and to find others doing the same is like gold nowadays. I think that's also been behind why it's now got its own engine.
Mm.
Yes, agreed.
It's really cool.
The more people that heal from this, the more people that will heal. And the amount of people out there, like Veronica was talking about, with huge power, like a magic, if that's what you want to call it, it's huge within them, and they're terrified of it still. Um, it's such a big issue. But the more people that heal from it, the more they heal. But there's a lot of people even in my life that I'm close to that still hold on to I'm going to call them outdated beliefs at this point because we are moving forward as a whole. We're trying to move out of this um as a collective. And but the wound is deep, and the more people like that embrace their power, that grow their magic. And when you're in somebody's energy and you can already feel how big that is, and they're just tamping it down, um, just wow. Wow, what is going to happen here? Wow. It's going to be, I really believe we're in the middle of like, I keep calling it a slingshot. There's a little bit of kind of what feels like chaotic right now, maybe. But I believe as a collective, we're in such a huge growth spurt because minds are opening. People are being more open-minded. They don't necessarily believe all of the things that they used to. So I believe we're about to be catapulted forward. And in this huge collective, we're in the middle of this huge collective growth. And we're going to look back on this video and we're going to say look at how much we've healed this wound.
And how do we know we've healed it? Like, what does that look like?
Looking like healing the witch's wound, it looks like reaching, this is how I see it energetically. It looks like this big, I'm going to call it like this big tangled yarn ball. And it looks like reaching in and grabbing the one spot that started the tangle and pulling it out. And then stepping into all of your power and not being afraid and learning, like Veronica said. I love what she says about your unique magic because then it doesn't mean that you have to be in a box or like even if you're powerful in similar ways, you're still owning on to your power because it's unique and it's just as important.
Mm.
And you're so secure in it that you're completely unabandoned with yourself. It's it's something that when you're in nature, nature responds to you. Animals respond to you. Plants respond to you. When you're out in the world, people respond to you. They feel that you're owning your power and there's a magnetic value there, even if you're an introvert. And they turn and they look and they're really not sure why, but it's because you've allowed yourself to expand into yourself so much. And it still isn't all the way as common as it should be. But people are really, they're feeling your energy because you've unraveled that ball of hurt and you're not afraid to be all of yourself and all of your unique magic. And you're not afraid of the still voice that you hear or or your ancestors that are coming through on the other line or that memory and you know it's solid because you know you lived it. Like you're not afraid of those things anymore. So they're all tools. They're all tools and they all make you more powerful. And And then people will want to know why. It's just going to keep spreading. It's such a beautiful thing.
I
I
hope.
don't,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another thing or sign to look out for when humanity's really crossing this threshold is you're actually going to see women linking arms and being a collective force of nature. That's when, to me, I feel like, yeah, I really know that we've crossed that line because not only are we owning our power, we're owning our power together. There's no competition. It is like, how much can we have exponential power by coming together with equal power in others? Like, that is, to me, that's momentous, and that's where it's going. And we need models of that. We need to see examples of that, like super solid women, not just as friends, but co-creators, collaborators. We're doing this as a team because it's more powerful than if I did it on my own. And
Mm.
that's it.
And that's
That's
what that magnetic effect is it's gonna pull people in. When
yeah,
you step into your power, somebody else is gonna want to join you. And
yeah.
women together are powerful creatures.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's so exciting.
This reminds me of the first time I did a virgin sacrifice, which was I don't know, a thing I did last year. Not explaining it.
Not
But
just a thing, Heidi.
I know
It
it was a
wasn't
big
just a
thing.
thing.
But I was thinking about the group of women, and we were sitting together and like all facing inwards. And one of them talked about like, oh, we all have each other's backs. We can see what's going on behind somebody else if we're together in this circle and we're gathering. So we all have each other's backs. But then there was also something about, for me, I was like, yeah, we need to connect and conquer instead of that divide and conquer. Let's get us separate, right? Which is what our culture
Hmm.
tends to do. Separate us so that we can be conquered. If we come together, if we connect, then we can conquer whatever it is, conquer getting our own power back or conquer whatever it is that we feel passionate about that we want to overcome. And I just love that, like women standing together, arm in arm, connected and working together and supporting each other. And even just doing this video with other women, it's more powerful. And even this to me seems like a healing of a witch wound, right? We're coming together, sharing our perspective and this space and our own power and our unique magic, right?
That
Hmm.
is huge.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like an act of that.
Hmm.
And it could only work if women own their shit, good, bad, and ugly. Like, you have to own your power.
Mhm.
You also have to own your reactions, your own wounds, and only then can it work. So I feel like self-responsibility is a big part of this,
Mhm.
being able to cross that threshold. And I know for myself, like, um, the victim child wound, comes up every now and then in all different scenarios. And if I don't own that victim, it bleeds out and like it causes distortion in my field, in my own perception of others. And so everything kind of gets twisted. So it's like being able to really catch that when it's happening, and coming back to, hang on, there might be a wounded child in here, but there's also a really powerful adult woman in her power, and let's just make space for both at the same time, and that I feel heals internally through bridging the two.
Mhm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love, Ahara, what you were saying about linking arm in arm and really helping, because I do feel like when we're helping each other and help raising up each other's voices and our work in the world and things like that, and knowing that there's room for all of us and that the world
Mm.
needs all of us to stand up and do things. I mean, you see what's going on. It's like, we need a virtual army of us, to come through and help heal and help redirect and turn the world into the beautiful, you know, the beautiful thing that it could be. And I really, really deeply resonate with what you said about that, because I feel like my whole entire life, some of the very best things that have happened to me is because other women have raised me up and put my work out there, and then in turn I would do that for others. And I feel like that's kind of part of this whole thing of our progress together, and I think it's so important. So I really resonated with that a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, yeah, taking self-responsibility for our own shit. Like a couple
Hmm.
weeks ago, I had something happen, and there were all these different kind of parts of me coming up, like the wounded inner child, but then also what I was calling, like, there was the Queen of Pentacles and there was the murder princess, and there was like Abby, the
Hold up, I want to know about the murder princess.
Yeah, tell us more.
yeah, she was the one like snipping shit away. And she was like,
Okay.
nope, we're cutting that out. We're cutting that out. And like Abby, the one with abandonment, she's like, but. And I'm like, okay, we got to bring on board the adult versions. And like, I was having such a hard time with uncertainty at that moment. And it was a great way to bring all these other parts aboard and on board. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, damn, I feel grounded and solid and centered. And like the more powerful parts of me came on board, and they were like, okay, Abby, you can, go play with the cat in your little heart space. But owning that stuff and like being with them as they arise, right? Or whenever it's an opportune time. Maybe you can't do it exactly when it arises and it happens a day later or whatever that is. But yeah, really owning our shit and taking that self-responsibility so that our perspective, like Ahara was saying, is a bit more unskewed, less skewed, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
My mind is like going in so many directions right now. Where do we take it? Where are we staying on topic? We should stay on topic, Ara. Because it's like, okay, where the question was, where did the wound, which wound come from? And yeah, and to me, this separation between women, like this splintering between women, was the agenda. You're too powerful together. We need to break them apart, and we
Hmm.
we need
Yeah.
to mortally wound them again and again and again, so they never ever go there as a
Yeah.
collective. Again, they're actually afraid of groups of women. They're not afraid of one woman. You can take one woman down, right, with a group.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But a group of women who are working together is basically an indestructible force. So
That,
that's the
that.
scary. Yeah, that's what we want,
Yeah.
and but there's no, I don't want to whitewash that and what it takes to get there, because the thing is, because women have been pitched against each other over eons, we actually have all these etheric wounds in our bodies, in our fields, from other women. Like I've had huge physical wounds, spears in my back, barbs thrown at me, poison darts, pulling these things out of my body as I've encountered different women in my life, sometimes men too. Um, and they're old wounds, but they actually carry through lifetimes. And Indigenous people know this. They know the power of black magic. It carries down family lines. It doesn't just go away because
Mm.
your body dies. Until you heal that original wound, it's carried forward. So when we're talking about let's work together and be collaborators and have this collective force, those things have to be cleared and healed. And the only way is through self-responsibility. You just cannot externalize blame, or which is what black magic, why people are afraid of black magic, is backlash and payback. You know, most indigenous cultures have black magic that's been used in that way, and people are afraid of that. And rightly so, because it can kill people. Energy can kill people, and that's why witches are feared. Because an invisible kill, like, how do you prepare for that? How do you protect your family from that? So these are like really big things that sort of are in the psyche of humans that I feel needs to be aired, because it's misunderstood. The less it's spoken about, it creates more distortion, and these things continue.
Hmm. Something that I was thinking about as you were sharing that, the like separating women, what I found interesting in my little nerdy timeline I made, I think it was like 1500s, not that long ago. Um, in England, I want to say, or somewhere in the UK, there was an order that came down forbidding women to actually gather. And women had to then stay in their homes and not connect with other women. And I don't know, oh, 1547. Women forbidden from meeting together to babble and talk. And it was a proclamation issued in England um, to prevent them from having these social freedoms. And I thought that really wasn't that long ago. It's just a few hundred years ago. And this is already a long history of keeping women separate. And I just found that particular one kind of fascinating. Um, so then I think about the impact that those kind of things have on us and gathering, right? So Veronica, I remember being in your first, my first witch camp with you, the magician year. And I think I was like, wow, I feel uncomfortable being in this group of women. And it comes from that, right? It comes from lifetimes of that. And even stuff happening in this lifetime, like, yeah, groups of women, not cool usually because they're not nice to each other often. So being able to gather, take that self-responsibility too, and like recognize those things and then come together. It seems like
Hmm.
an amazing way to heal this, kind of undoing that lineage of separation.
And I think like just what you were talking about with your experience at witch camp, I think that so many people feel the same way. And I feel like when they first like in the experience of camp, when new people are coming, they're afraid because they're like, am I going to be judged? Is is there going to be like a pecking order of like who's the witchiest or whatever the thing is? And what we have found over time, one, we have like a rule of kindness, but what we have also found is that when we come together like Knights of the Round Table, but witches of the Round Table, and knowing that whether you've just started witchcraft yesterday or you've been doing it since you grew up, that each one of us has a piece of the puzzle to bring. Because if you're curious about witchcraft, and I really do believe this because I know for a fact that witch camp has been changed by so much by people who have like never practiced before. They just stumble into it and then they give us something that, or say something that's something like I never thought about, and I've been doing this since I was a baby. And it's the new perspective, and it's the thing that I really believe with all my might is that my grandmother would say that our souls are like libraries. So we only crack open this current book, this current gorgeous novel that we're living in, but there's a library in our spirit. And when you get together with other magical minded people, and you feel safe and you don't feel like you're competing and you feel like you're being rooted on by other people, you kind of have the power to crack open another book in the library and tap into that power or that knowledge. And that's when the real magic comes in. And I really do believe that if you're called to this work, that you have an extensive library and there is something in a book that you have in here that is going to help every single one of us. And so that's why it's so important. And we talk about this at Witch Camp. It's so important to be kind to each other and to not have any judgment over what somebody is saying or what they're experiencing or what they are trying to like pull from their own library, because the knowledge that comes out from one person helps us all. So when we all can be in that thing, we can all help and heal each other. And I think that that's so important. And I think that that's why these laws were created, because they don't want us to be babbling to each other, because we might crack open too many library books in our soul. And then next thing you know, there's, they're dealing with all of the lifetimes of us and all of the power together, and that is an unexplainable force.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting because this theme of powerlessness is really current in humanity right now, because so
Yeah.
many things are being uh created without our permission, so to speak. And so I feel like there's a really important message to get out there around, if you're feeling powerless, then maybe it's time to combine your power with another and another and another. Because alone, yeah, you can't rise above some of these forces that are here now. I'm talking about like drones in the sky and data centers and robots and things that we didn't actually ask for, but are in our movie. And the only way we're going to change the story is together, and actually really be together, not just like, let's have meet for coffee. This is not what we're talking about. And that's what I love about witches and this whole topic of women combining their powers, is like you're having real and raw conversations about the real and raw stuff that most people don't want to talk about. It's not sanitary to talk about these things. And so that's where the power is, of course, is in the things that people don't want to face, and the buried stuff. And yeah, it's really important that I think when we do get together and gather with other women, what's the intention? And I'm talking even if it's meeting for coffee. Like, so many women waste their time and their power just talking shit
Mm-hmm.
together. It's not like, it's a complete suppression of each person's power and the potential of that meeting. And I'm not saying it always has to be anything serious, but it's like, well, if we're getting together, like, treat it as like a sacred thing, because it is. And we've been programmed to think that it's just surface and superficial and, hey, how you going and whatever. It's like, no, women should be coming together and meeting to create. Well, I mean,
In a
we're always,
ritualistic way.
yeah, in whatever, yeah, like,
Yeah.
in an
It-
agreed way, whatever that is, right? But it's like, there's missed opportunities every day around this, I feel. And I want to encourage women to really think that way around, okay, well, we're meeting for coffee. What are we creating? Use our power at every opportunity together.
Yes, one thing I love about your work, Ahara, is the creator types and bridging each other's types. I want to say like bridging the types, but coming together to create something. Yeah. And having ownership of our body. So that's one of the things I'm continuing to learn from you, is about really living and inhabiting my body so that I can create with other people. Yeah.
Yeah. everything we can only create with our bodies. So yeah, owning our power, inhabiting the body, when we meet other people doing the same, that's when the magic happens. You don't have to do it from the mind. The bodies already know what to do. Like it just takes over, right? But you have to come in with that intention and that and embodiment of who you are and your magic, and be curious about other people's magic at the same time. That's cool. And it's fun. And there's no drama in that. It's just creation central.
Yeah, and curiosity and play, like bringing that in
Mhm.
too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like my experience of bringing women together intentionally and living together for a few days or a week or whatever, is that certain women combining is like a combination lock. So you bring this woman and this woman and this woman, and exactly what you were saying, Veronica, and certain books open, books of knowledge fall out of the library. But it's like it's only because of that combination, and then you pick a different combination and you've got access to something different. But that's all coming out of the body. That's not like an intellectual thing. It's just happening when you bring the bodies together. So the information is in the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
How intriguing. I love this. Wow.
Yeah, so much. There's so much there. Hey.
I'm so excited about all of this.
I like
Yeah.
this combination lock.
I'm
Well, then
like,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
just like, um, just just the way that you guys are all talking about it. It's just like, um, I'm ready to go. Let's go right now. I hope that's
What are
what
we
this.
doing?
Yes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everybody here is ready to create. They're ready to get together and experience something like amazing that they all made together. I'm like, let's go. Where are we going? When are we
Mhm.
meeting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't even care what we're doing. Just let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Let's
love it.
play.
I was
Let's
thinking
play.
about like, okay, tying this back to where did the witch wound come from? And then just thinking about what we were just talking about, disconnection from our bodies and disconnection from each other, right? Which is kind of what Ahara was saying at the very beginning of like, you got these opposites, but also just, yeah, disconnection from our body and disconnection from other women is like, seems like the origin story of the witch wound.
Or energetically, there's a lot of connections between one woman and another. You would be surprised at how much of those are wounds, though. But there's a negative
Right.
feed going back and forth. But when you get together with like an intention to create, like that's so love-based. It's the brightest like thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you're playing in that. So or experimenting in that or whatever is bringing it about. And so it cuts those cords like naturally without having to go in and do it forcefully or like the sabotaging energy will naturally pull away just in the energy that was created just now. Those cords, any kind of sabotaging energy, they naturally just start to retreat. I don't know. It's a beautiful thing. I'm very excited to be here. I know
Yeah.
you're gonna have to cut all of this out of the video, but I'm very excited.
It's staying in. This is
No, we
like,
want it. We
nope.
want the excitement.
We want
I
it
don't
to
even
be
know what to
raw and
say.
real. And yeah, yeah, this is good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, does anybody else have anything else they'd like to share about this, or does this feel complete for this time?
I really think
Yes.
that this message that you're talking about and what we've kind of uncovered together as a group, as a coven here, is this message of how to heal this wound is by working together, uplifting each other, knowing that we have the power to express ourselves and to be able to do that um, with others to raise up our collective power, I think is such a positive message. And I think it goes hand in hand with what you're going to be talking about in the future, and talking about like women competing against each other and like how to really defeat that major obstacle in life, as a programming of the patriarchy to continue to separate us. And I feel like this was such a positive talk tonight. And I feel like what everybody contributed about different ways to what does it look like when it's healed, I think was truly a magical thing for me. I really loved talking to all of you, and I agree 100% with everything that was said here tonight. And I see the change happening. And it's important to know that we are making progress. It's a huge amount of progress just from 2007 to now in 2016 and moving into 2017. There's just in that decade-ish of time, so much change has happened. Even though when you look at the world, you're like, wait, but has it? And it has, because we are the reaction, which is standing up in power. We are the reaction to the bad things that are going on in this world. And we're like, we're not taking this, and we're going to put the power back in ourselves, rather than put the power in whoever's running our countries, whoever is like the supposed leaders. When we step up to be the leaders of ourselves and say, no, we're not accepting this. We're standing up as the leaders together, and we're going to let our voices be heard. That's when the power comes back. And that's why witches have been like just so many of them in the last decade. It's like people that in surveys, people that say that they're witches has like quadrupled in size over the last decade. And it's because we are the reaction, and we understand that there is a power within us that cannot be silenced and that we need to express together.
Hmm. Love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
We are
witches.
the reaction. I love that. We are the reaction.
Yeah, I love that
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're the
Ah,
rebellion.
the
We are the
rebellion.
rebellion. We are the reaction against what's happening, and that is the rebellion. So that's who we are.
And we're also doing it in a conscious way, so not just a reactive, uh, like, yeah, we're doing it consciously. Yeah,
With a mission.
with a
Hmm.
mission. Yeah,
With a
yeah.
mission,
Like
but I
with
also yeah, I love that you've brought us together, Heidi, with the intention of collecting our power, collaborating, like as equals. We're modeling this for other people, what it can
Yeah.
look like. So yeah, let's keep it going.
in real life time right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Real
loving
life.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the experience in this video. I just met two of you today and I have love. I'll be sending it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Amplify it.
Amplify.
Beautiful women, beautiful, intelligent, powerful women. What an honor to be sitting here with you.
An honor, truly. Thank you. Thanks, all of
Yeah,
you.
feels
Thank you.
feels like
Thank
an honor
you.
too. You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Heidi.
Yeah, and so for our next video, we're going to be talking more about female competition. And um, yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Yay!
Cool.
Yeah, and thank you, Ahara and Veronica and Kristen, all for being here tonight. And I look forward to catching whoever in the next video.
Yes! How exciting. I'm very excited about all of this. Thank you, Heidi, for bringing us together.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank
Yay.
you for being here. This is like, yeah, I love it. And I
Ugh.
think Veronica's witch camp was my first real experience with being with women who supported other women. So, yeah, it's something I want more of in my life too. So, thank you for that, Veronica.
Thank you. I mean, you're just running with it. You're just like creating your own powerful communities and you're continuing to do that. And that's the purpose of it because, like, we need all of us to be doing all of the things, all of us need to be doing like retreats and works and podcasts and all the things like to be able to heal it. And Heidi, like, you are just such a beautiful representation of like really standing in your power and being there as a priestess and as helping so many other people. So I'm so
Mm.
grateful that and honored that was one of your first experiences being in a circle like that. So it's good
Yeah.
stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it
Ooh, I
was
want to
amazing.
go. It sounds like fun.
It's fun. It's really fun. I'm like, if you could, right here in the corner, I have all of these vintage Girl Scout badges, and
What?
yes, and I'm creating a whole thing of badges for witch campers. So it's very fun. It's very fun. It's ridiculous how much joy this brings. So yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, how powerful. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
and
you.
joyous and reminding you who you are. Because like truly, like our little kid selves, we were we were the most powerful witches when we were little kids playing with
Yes.
sticks and like making music and singing to the birds and they're singing back to us and we've got like a secret if you throw two leaves into the water then the fairies come out and if we can just capture that magic from our
Yes.
previous self into this adult badass bodies then like if we can combine that magic of what we had so easily as children into the adult selves we have now, I mean, we're unstoppable. So it's just witch camp is really to like pull that child self and like throw those three leaves into the water so the fairies come out. So yeah.
oh, come on, fairies. Yes.
That baby. Love it. I can
Got it.
relate.
Yay. Well, so exciting meeting you all. I can't wait to play again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Thanks, Heidi, for bringing us together.
you're welcome. I think we'll come together when I'm in the body in Australia. Maybe we do the next one from the land of Down Under.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the go. Mhm.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Down under in
Bring
the
us to
desert.
Australia with you.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
You're welcome. Thank you all for being here, and I look forward to the next one.
Yay. Thank
Yay.
you. Have a good night or day. I don't know what time it is where everybody is.
Good
Yeah.
night for three of us.
Good
Good day
night.
for Ahara.
Good day for me. All
Good
Good
right.
day.
day.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.